Imagine settling in with a steaming mug of tea or coffee, ready to soak up some life-changing health wisdom about a truly remarkable figure, Howard W. Jones, born on December 30th, 1910, who lived an astonishing 104 years. You're about to embark on a journey through his groundbreaking contributions to gynecological surgery and in vitro fertilization (IVF), wisdom that's transformed countless lives and might just spark something in you too. So, get comfy, and let's dive into this together. Oh, and if you love what you hear, be sure to like, share, comment, and subscribe to keep this conversation alive. Howard W. Jones wasn't your average doctor. He was a visionary who saw hope where others saw dead ends. Picture him in a crisp white coat, hunched over his work, determined to help families grow when nature threw up roadblocks. His pioneering efforts in IVF, bringing science to the rescue of conception, didn't just change medicine, they rewrote futures. Have you ever stopped to think how one person's stubborn belief in possibility could touch your life, even years down the line? That's the kind of magic we're unpacking here. Let's bring this closer to home for you. Maybe you've got a friend or family member who's wrestled with the dream of parenthood, or you've witnessed the quiet joy of a baby finally arriving after a long wait. Howard's work isn't some dusty footnote, it's a living gift. Through his mastery of gynecological surgery, he made procedures safer and more effective, giving women the chance to thrive. Next time you're swapping stories with someone, toss out this question. Can you believe one man's ideas could mean so much to so many? Now, let's weave in a little story to make it real. Imagine a woman, let's call her Sarah, in her late 30s, sitting in a sterile doctor's office, her hands clasped tight with nerves, but her heart full of hope. She'd been told kids might not happen for her, but thanks to the path Howard blazed, she got her shot. Fast forward a few months, and she's rocking a tiny bundle, whispering thanks to the stars, and in a way, to him. That's the heartbeat of this health wisdom. It's not just science, it's about people like you finding light in the dark. What's the takeaway for you here? Howard's story whispers that persistence can move mountains. He didn't settle for good enough. He pushed limits with a mix of grit and heart. You can channel that same energy into your own world. Maybe it's sticking to a health goal, like swapping soda for a cool glass of water, or lifting up a loved one when they're down. What's one small, brave step you could take today, inspired by that kind of spirit? Let's shift the lens a bit, because this isn't just about history. It's about what you can do right now. Howard's breakthroughs show us how far we've come, but they also nudge you to take charge of your own wellness. Think about those everyday choices, tossing together a salad with crunchy greens and ripe tomatoes that burst with flavor, or that walk where the air feels crisp against your skin. These aren't just routines, they're your way of honoring the body Howard spent his life helping others reclaim. How do you celebrate your own health, day in and day out? Howard got something big. Connection is everything. His discoveries didn't happen in a vacuum. They came from teaming up with scientists, patients, and families, all rowing in the same direction. You're part of that crew too. When you hit that share button or drop a comment below, you're linking arms with a community that's all about growth and wisdom. So, tell us, what grabbed you most about Howard's journey? Your voice could light a spark for someone else. Let's get down to brass tacks for a minute. IVF might sound like a high-tech mystery, but at its core, it's beautifully simple, helping life find a way when it's stuck. Howard and his team figured out how to unite egg and sperm outside the body, then tuck them back in to grow, like planting a seed in just the right spot. You don't need to geek out on the details, but isn't it wild to think this wisdom could one day touch someone you love? Here's another story to sink your teeth into. Picture a couple, say Mark and Lisa, both around 40, sitting at their own kitchen table, cradling mugs of coffee, feeling like their chance at a family was slipping away. They'd nearly given up, but a doctor mentioned Howard's legacy, and soon they were on their own IVF adventure. A year later, they're giggling as their toddler flings mashed peas across the room. That's the joy Howard unlocked, not just for them, but for you, your circle, your tomorrow. Take a breath and let's reflect. Howard lived to 104, and that's no small thing. He watched the world shift from horse-drawn buggies to cutting-edge labs, and he never stopped learning. What's something you'd love to dig into over the next 10 years? His century-plus life proves that curiosity and care can carry you a long way, maybe even farther than you'd guess. Now, put yourself in his shoes for a moment. He faced naysayers who swore IVF was a pipe dream, but he kept at it because he believed in the payoff. You've got that same fire, not in a lab, but in your own corner of the world. Maybe it's pushing past doubt to try a new dish, like a hearty stew bubbling with fragrant thyme, or dragging yourself out of bed for a workout. What's one hurdle you're ready to leap over with that quiet, steady resolve? Let's keep this rolling and talk about why this hits home for you today. Howard didn't chase glory, he solved real problems. That's a nugget you can carry into your kitchen, your work, your relationships. When you pick foods that fuel you, like a warm bowl of oatmeal crowned with juicy berries, or carve out time to recharge, you're living his wisdom. How do you think those little shifts could stack up in your life over time? Here's where it gets fun. You're not just watching, you're in this story. Howard's wins took teamwork, and sharing this wisdom does too. Tap that like button if his tale stirs you, or send this to a friend who could use a boost. Better yet, leave a comment, maybe a question or a slice of your own life. How does his legacy weave into your world? Picture yourself as part of this unfolding tale, not just a bystander, but someone who can carry it forward. His efforts weren't solo, they thrived on collaboration, much like how your voice here can ripple out. Imagine the impact if you shared this with your cousin, who's always curious about science. Could it inspire them too? You're not just absorbing this, you're helping it grow. Let's add some color to this. Think of the families Howard helped, parents breathing in that newborn smell, a mix of soft skin and pure promise. His work handed them moments sweeter than any pie, moments you might recognize if you've ever rooted for someone's big win. It's not just about babies, it's about opening doors. What door are you itching to nudge open right now? Imagine those parents' first sleepless night, not from worry, but from marveling at tiny toes and soft breaths. Howard gave them that, and maybe you felt that thrill of possibility too, like when a friend lands a dream job you cheered for. His legacy is a palette of hope, painting lives with joy you can almost taste. Looking broader, Howard's 100 for years weren't just about medicine. They were about showing up day after day. He didn't start with all the answers, but he asked, listened, and grew. You can do that too. Maybe it's chatting with your doctor about something nagging at you, or trading tips with a pal over a hot cup of cocoa that warms your hands. Where could a sprinkle of curiosity take you this week? Think of him adapting through a century of change, from clunky tools to sleek labs, always learning. You've got that same chance. Maybe it's asking why you feel sluggish lately, or swapping recipes for a cozy soup that steams up the kitchen. His life says, keep showing up, keep wondering. Let's tie this up with a story that lingers. Imagine a retired nurse, call her Ellen, in her 70s, sitting with her grandkids, spinning tales of IVF's early days. She worked with doctors Howard trained, and her eyes would glow as she described families flipping from heartbreak to happiness. It was like spring after a brutal winter, she'd say. That's the warmth he left, and it's yours to pass along. Picture her voice, rich with memory, as she tells of a mom clutching a Polaroid of her newborn, tears streaking her smile. Ellen saw it all, and now you're holding that thread, ready to share it over dinner or a call, keeping the story alive and glowing. So, where does this land for you? Howard's wisdom isn't stuck in yesterday. It's here, ready for you to grab. Whether it's nourishing yourself with a zesty orange salad or cheering someone's dream, you're on this ride. Why not start now? Pick one small move that feels good, a stroll, a call, a fresh idea, and see where it takes you. Here's the kicker. You're not flying solo. We're growing a community, and you're a vital part. Like this video if Howard's story hit you. Toss a comment with your take, and subscribe to stay in the loop. Share it with someone who needs a lift. Let's spread this health wisdom wide. Together, we can turn sparks into action, one step, one story at a time. What do you say? Ready to jump in?